Welcome back. I'm Carrie and this is Keep It Simple DIY. Don't worry, you will be seeing my face a little bit later on in this video, but I was just getting a ton of stuff done while my husband was asleep on the couch and I did not want to wake him up. And so here I am scoring a very tiny loaf of sourdough bread. I actually really like making tiny loaves because there's just two of us in our household and we do not want to have bread go stale. And so here's something interesting though. I am putting it in my air fryer. This is actually the Ninja Foodie Grill and I'm putting it in on the bake setting and I am so excited to try this. Now I am spraying the dough because usually you would put this in a Dutch oven closed and then you would leave it open. So I figured spraying it first would get that humidity and then we would be able to have a nice crusty bread. Now this actually happened before. I did preheat, so this is how I preheated my Ninja Foodie Grill. And this, let's see, I set it for a lot. What did I set it for? 30 minutes. And it was too much. So I actually came up to check it at 20 minutes and there you go. Here's me checking it at 20 minutes and that was perfect. I didn't need any more time. I did get my thermometer out and check and it was 200 degrees, so we were perfect. Now I did slice into this after it was completely cool, so I wanted to show you the slices. I had let this bread ferment on the counter for like 6 hours. Usually I do ferment in the fridge, but I didn't on this day. Now this looks a little bit odd, but what I'm doing is I am taking some sourdough starter out of my bowl there. I'm getting ready to make a lot of pizza dough, but I wanted to make sure to dehydrate a little bit of sourdough starter because I like to have this on backup just in case something happens with my starter that I like to keep in the fridge. The sourdough that we put down here is now fully dried, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it into pieces. And then I have labeled this bag and I said sourdough starter. I put the date that I dried it and then 16 months mature because I have another bag that has starter in it, but that starter is from quite a few months ago when the starter was a very young starter. So I just want to make sure I know which starter is how old. I'm just breaking this up and then I will get it in the bag, and that is how simple it is to dehydrate and preserve your sourdough starter. And then to reconstitute this, all you do is you put some water on it and let it rehydrate until it's completely rehydrated, and then once it is, you feed it and you should be good to go. And you can even blend this up and have it be not chunks, but have it just be little blended bits, but there we go. And I also decided to make some coleslaw on this day as well, and so I just dumped a bag of pre-shredded cabbage coleslaw mix into this little dish. I wanted to use a bowl, but my bowls were all dirty. But this recipe is super simple. It was a little bit more on the vinegary side, and so I think that's mainly because I added extra vinegar at the end, but I am adding some salt and some pepper, and then this one does call for both vinegar and lemon, and then mayonnaise, of course. Now, I would definitely put less of the vinegar and lemon, and then these always work better to let them sit in the fridge for a while before eating them. This isn't the best recipe that I've tried, but just, you know, motivation to get you making summertime foods, because summertime foods are light and fresh and healthy aside from mayo, but I am using light mayo. Now, I also have a little trick. If you see on my mayo, it says opened for 1/24. I did that because the best by date on this mayo is this summer. It's like in just 2 months, but usually mayo lasts a little longer. So I didn't want to be questioning all summer long if I was really past the expiration date, best by date. There you go. You can actually see it. March 1st, 2024. Okay, so we're already past it. So I didn't want to be thinking that this mayonnaise is bad just because we're past the date when I didn't even open it until after then. So that's my trick. I'm outside. It's the very end of May, so let's do a little garden tour. Things are slowly starting to grow. I put everything in the ground about 2 weeks ago, and so we're starting to get a little bit of growth. Let me show you. Here is just an overview of the backyard. Here are my tomatoes over here. This one I think got bit off by something, but these are all looking pretty well. They definitely had some shock at first because it got down to below 45 one night. But there's the rest of them, and then we have the tomatillos, 2 of them there, and then I don't think the jalapeno survived the transplant. Now we have a few corns popping up in this bed. And then over here, this is where I have all of the onions. There's a few onions popping up, but not a whole ton. And then I have the green, no I don't. These are the peas, and they are starting to sprout, so look at that. And then this one has the green beans, so we're getting there. I'm not seeing even sprouting, so I'm wondering if something like this is the reason, because the cat's in there. But maybe some of them are just planted a little bit deeper and we'll see them come up shortly. So hopefully in the next few weeks, these will all get really big. This is a pumpkin. It has seen better days, but I did plant some flowers along the back edge here, and then I don't remember what that is. That might be, those might be eggplants or more pumpkins. And then here's some asparagus. Oh goodness, Milo. These asparagus are looking pretty good though. They're very thin. I'm wondering if they will get thicker or if I should like trim them like that and then they'll get thicker over time. Those have been in there for a few years. This is another pumpkin plant. This one's looking pretty well. I'm hoping that between the pumpkins I get quite a bit of them. I would like to can cubed pumpkin. And these are the sugar pie pumpkins. Flowers are starting to come up. Pear tree is looking pretty good. There are a few little pears growing in there. There's one. So we'll have some pears this year, which is great. Now I'm pretty excited about this. I trimmed all the grapes and they're actually all going upwards right now. So hopefully it stays that way. That was what I tried to do. And so if I can keep this bottom area free of a lot of grapes, we'll see, because these things go crazy. That'll be helpful. I do need to retrim all of this extra growth at the bottom. This one got eaten by bunnies the first year, so now it just pops up like that. And then I do have watermelon and cantaloupe in these too. There's one over there too, but they haven't sprouted yet, I don't think. Actually, let's look. Maybe this one has. Oh yeah, that's a watermelon. We'll see how that does. And then we have a blueberry plant that's being taken over by raspberries, and these are the raspberries that I cannot seem to get to fruit. I don't know why. All these canes that are left are the ones that grew last year, and I was thinking that they would come again, but this just, I don't know. I don't know what to do there. This is where I had a raspberry shortcake last year. It looks like it did not come back. There's a few things looking like they're coming back, but I think it's all weeds. Some blackberries here. That looks fantastic. I don't know if last year's cane is going to get anything. We have more hibiscus here. This is a plum tree, which is new as of last year. Blueberries are hard here in Colorado, but it looks like we might actually have that one budding. They definitely look like they could use some fertilizer again. I did add an acidic fertilizer to it already. And then here's a blackberry bush, and this one's actually looking fantastic. So we've got some buds there, and it's coming back. Over here I have herbs and flowers, and honestly, so far I can't tell which are going to be the herbs or which are going to be the flowers. So we will see once they come up. But on this side, well wait, backing up, this bed used to be strawberries. The strawberries would always get eaten by like roly-polies. So I let my strawberries just come down here, and they're working out so well. So hopefully this way they won't get eaten because they're just in the rocks. Over here I have the spinach bed, and then, oh, I can't remember what this is. Celery, that might be no, that doesn't, that is definitely not celery. What did I plant there? I don't remember. It kind of looks like little broccolis, but I know that's not what it was. This bed is coming out. I also forgot what I planted in here, but a few little things have started. This is my zucchini bed, and you know, for a minute I thought that I had something sprouting over here. Either something ate it or it wasn't sprouting, but there's nothing here yet, so we might need to replant some zucchini. And then the potato bed is looking fantastic, and our flower bed and cat bed is also looking good. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.